My tea is way back there. Let's see if I can grab my tea. So I have something smooth and refreshing to sip on. I see you popping in. We're going to start on time. Y'all know how I like to do it. We start on time, and I don't keep you for a long time because time, time. I'm going to grab my tea right behind me, okay? Oh, that's nice. Greetings and hello. Greetings and hello. Y'all ready to get this party started? We got less than 60 seconds. Less than 60 seconds. I see y'all waving in here, up in here, up in here. I'll put my phone in focus mode. I can't see the world of Facebook in this moment. But I'll go here and get it. All right, guys, let me count it down. We're getting this party started. Let's go. Hey there, Chris and Elise. I popped over there real quick to see. I'm like, who is that talking to me up around here? And I saw who it was. So I am to Kenya Battle, and I want to welcome you to coming to the End on a High Note workshop. So the main things we're going to do here are look at some key metrics that will help you better prepare for going into 2022. Oh my gosh, it has been a lot. We are still here. We're still here. So here we go. Let's get this party started. I hope all is well with you. Okay. 2021 has been a roller coaster ride of twists, turns, dips, dives, and climbs, but you are here. So right now, you may be feeling the adrenaline rush and the enthusiasm of smashing your 2021 goals, or you may be feeling defeated and deflated as you have yet to recover from the dips and the dives of the ride, right? So if you never really took stock to remind yourself of all the awesomely amazing things that you've accomplished this year, what we're going to do in less than an hour is change that right now. So welcome to the End on a High Note virtual co-op workshop. I'm saying we're going to be working together virtually, okay? Where we'll work through 5 categories in this virtual shared space, okay? So in case you didn't know, I am to Kenya Battle, the chief troublemaker, and I help private music teachers attract more students and 10x their revenue without increasing their workload, even if they don't know where to begin. Even if you don't know where to start, I got something for you. Hopefully you're going to get some of those nuggets today. So while I'm reading this to you guys, make sure you grab something to write with and something to write on, because until you actually sit down and look at the numbers and reflect on all the things that you've achieved, including the things that don't directly have anything to do with revenue, you may not realize just how much you've really accomplished. And I don't think sometimes we acknowledge ourselves. I don't think we always give ourselves, think about it. Think about it. You be in kindergarten, and then there's like this kindergarten graduation. And then by the time you get to like middle school, there's like a big to do. And then by the time you get to high school, there's this big to do. By the time you finish college, there's this big graduation. We like celebrate these key moments all throughout our lives, right? And when we become adults, what are we celebrating at this point? We don't give ourselves time to shine. We don't reflect on the shine. So that's what we're trying to do a little bit of today. So by examining these 5 key metrics or these 5 key details today, you'll be better equipped for the ride ahead in 2022. That roller coaster ain't gonna surprise you as much, okay? You'll find that you're not on this journey alone, and you'll find that there are other private studio owners out there with the same goals as you and a lot of the shared struggles that we have as music educators in this space. All right, you got your pen or something to write with? You got something to write on? You rock steady ready? If you rock steady ready, just give me something in that chat. Let me know. Hey, Brandy. Drop something in the chat. Let me know. We're going to talk about retention. I promise you I won't keep you long. I sound like some of those preachers. I won't be long if you say amen. All right, cool. Here we go. So retention. Who knows what retention is? Yes, no, maybe. If not, know that retention refers to your ability to keep repeat buyers and prevent them from leaving or switching to somebody else. You don't want nobody to leave. You come, stay, enjoy. It's an indicator that shows the quality of your service and your ability to please your existing customers. All right. So I'm using all this language to say retention it's a percentage. It's a percentage. It's based on the number of people. I'll get to the formula in a second. I'm getting ahead of myself, but you gotta pay attention to retention. This is a metric that's super important. It refers to your ability to keep and retain people for a specific period. So if you have a higher percentage number for retention, it implies that people like what they're getting from you. It implies that. And they want to stay where they are instead of stray and go away. You want people to stay and not go away. So ultimately, what you got to realize about retention is that your success lies in your client satisfaction. And so if your retention numbers are looking like poo-poo, there's probably a reason for that. And if your retention numbers are looking like hello, there's probably a reason for that. Okay? Keep that in mind. So here's the formula. Because again, your success relies in their satisfaction. So retention is you figure it out over a set period of time, say for a month, a quarter, or over the year. Those are 3 key metrics you can look at in regards to retention, or that's 3 different ways you can look at retention. That's one metric. So what you do is typically I'm looking at my retention every month just to see like, okay, what's going on? How's it hanging? What do people have going on here? What's going on in their lives, right? So this is the formula for retention. Y'all read that? Let me point up because I forgot where my picture is. It's the customers at the end of the period minus the new customers over the number of customers that you have at the beginning of the period times 100. So to calculate retention, you start with the number of customers at the end of the given period, let's say a month. You'll subtract the new customers gained during that period, and then you'll take that number and divide it by the number of customers at the start of the period. Who in here is having flashbacks to math class right now? And this is probably a moment for you where you're just like, Well, let me give you an example. All right, it's December. Let's say you end December with 50 students. So that's the customers at the end of the period. If you end December with 50 students and you gained 7 new students, so that's 50 minus 7 at the top. Y'all with me? 50 minus 7. Who thought I'd be teaching math class? All right. And let's say at the beginning of December, you started with 45 students. So you have 50 minus 7 over 45 times 100. That averages out to 96%. for your retention rate. So would you say 96% retention is a great rate, good rate, bad rate, poor rate, better rate, best rate? Let me know. Here's something that I use to kind of check in and see where I am. So if your retention rate is less than 70%, there's a lot of things that possibly could be going on. There's some things that could be happening that are causing people to stay with you for a little while. You know, they'll stay for like a month or two, maybe 3, and then they're gone. Something's going on. And it's not always us, okay? It's not always us. It's not like it's not you, it's me kind of thing. It's not always us. A retention rate between 70 and 79%, that's good. I can hang with you. And actually, what I want you to do right now is track your retention. I want you to track your retention. Pick the month of, let's do December. The MQA is month, quarter, annual. I want you to figure out what your retention is right now for the month of December. Hold on to that number. Hold that number close to you. Because like I said, this is a virtual co-op workspace. Y'all got to do some work too. So some of the places where you can find your numbers. If you don't know, like, where my numbers at? Where they at? Where my background singers? Some of the places you can find your numbers. If you happen to use My Music Staff, if you happen to use Fonz, whatever scheduling software that you use that tracks attendance, you can run your retention rate in that program. So once you have your retention numbers, you can always come back to this recording. It'll be here for a little while. I'm going to snatch it away. Be here for a little while. But I want you to track your retention just for the month of December. Just do 1 month, okay? After you do your retention rates for every month and then the quarters and then an annual type thing, I want you to look for trends. That's the second thing I want you to do, is to actually look for trends. Hopefully, most of us are landing in this best area, 90% and above. Where do you think you fall? Do you think your retention rate is poor, good, better, or best? Let me know in the chat. Just take a guess. I know what mine is, but I want to see where you are too. Any questions about retention and how to calculate it? Yes, that's what I'm talking about, branding. When you say new customers, am I referring to new customers at the end of the period? All right. So I'm referring, that's a great question, Brandy. So when I say new customers, am I referring to new customers at the end of the period or at the start of the next period? So if we're in December right now, I'm talking about from December 1st through today. How many new customers did you get? So during the course of the month, if we're looking at December, let me pull that formula back up. Let me retch around. All right. Okay. And let me knock this down right, chill. All right. So when you're looking at the customers at the beginning, at the end, when you're looking for the customers at the end of the period, I know that at the end of December, I had, let's say 50 students. Let's say I had 50. I ain't have 50. That's too. That for me, that's personally too many for me. Everybody's got their number. 50 is too many for me. So if I had 50 students at the end of December, I gained 7 students between December 1st and the end of December. That's where I'm getting that number from. Does that make sense? Yeah. Cool. All right. Cool. Perfect. So once you have your calculations for your retention rates, you can track it by the month, the quarter, or an annual overview, just so you can kind of like zoom in and zoom out on your business. Hold on to that number, hold it close to you, because we're going to use this a little bit later, okay? Let's talk about revenue. Money. Hey, that's really all revenue is. This one's super easy, super direct. Revenue is the sum of all the sales related to the services you provide. The sum of all the sales related to the services you provide. So for every lesson, every piano lesson that I've taught, every voice lesson that I've taught, every gig that I've had, every time I've written some music for somebody and they gave me a little change for writing some music for them, anytime I've created a custom track for someone who has paid me for those services, that was revenue. It's the total amount of income generated by the sale of goods or services related to your primary operations. All the money, all the shmoney, all the shmoney, get the shmoney. All right. Revenue is an important key metric because if you don't look at it, you can't figure out how to talk to it and make it do what you want it to do. So it's pretty cut and dry. You can, I track my revenue using Stripe. That's the main way, one of the main ways I track my revenue because that's where most of my money, funnels into. That's the first point of contact for my money. It's usually through Stripe. I mean, there's a couple others, but I already know where they are. They're pretty simple to incorporate. Pop quiz. Which is more important, retention or revenue? Drop your answer in the chat. Which is more important, retention or revenue? Which is more important, retention or revenue? Is it the shmoney? I got my super smart folks already answering. That's right, Brandy. Retention is the correct answer. Retention, 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 retention. Retention is more important than revenue. Why? Because it's a key indicator of the health of your business. Usually, a higher percentage rate in retention leads to greater revenue. Usually. I am not a financial expert. That is your legal disclaimer. Don't be trying to come for me saying I didn't taught y'all this stuff. That's right, Ivan. And thanks for joining while you're at work. Retention is more important than revenue. So when you ask, I know like sometimes people ask, how many students do you have? How many students do you have? And I'm like, it really doesn't matter how many students I have because what matters more is the retention and the revenue. That's what matters more. And between retention and revenue, what matters the most is retention. We should really be asking people, so what's your retention looking like? Instead of asking people, how many students do you have? It doesn't matter if you teach 20, 30, 40, 50, 11, 1,000 students, which can seem impressive for some people, but that's really not the key metric you want to look at per se. You really want to be looking at retention. That's the most important metric between retention and revenue. Got it? Let's move on to the next section we're doing today. We're going to talk about releasing. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, you may have seen I posted a reel where I'm writing and then I rip the sheet out and I ball the sheet up. I put it in my fireplace and I light it. That paper was on fire. It was. I lit the paper on fire. We're going to talk about releasing some things today. So I know that sometimes things come to us when we're separate from where we are right now. But I just want you to get started with writing down a few things. So a few things you might want to think about. What has not been working for you? What has been giving you the blues? What made you cry a little bit? What made you feel like you're in this cloud of chaos and confusion? Write those kinds of things down. And it doesn't necessarily have to be related to your studio or your business. It can be something personal or professional. Think of everything that was cloudy, chaotic, and full of confusion for you in 2021. Anytime that you felt put on the spot, write that down. Every time your face got hot, write down the circumstances that led to that. Every time you wish you had done something different, but you didn't, write it down. Every time you shed tears over a situation that you felt was out of control, every time your tank was empty and you were running on fumes, every time you sacrificed for others over yourself, write that down. Every time you didn't grant yourself grace to grow, write every last one of those things down because it's time to let that issue go. Let it go. And there's a few ways you can let go. Okay. I'm going to talk you through it. Don't be burning down people's houses like old girl from TLC. Don't do it. Don't do it. This is how I did it. Here's two things you can do. You can burn it or you can blow it, but you got to release it. You got to release it. It's one thing to burn it or blow it, but we're going to talk about the next steps after that. So one thing you can do is write a letter or a note or take a picture and burn it, suck it to ashes. Light that fire with the intention of awareness that as you watch that fire burn, you're releasing the things that no longer serve you. And I want you to pay attention to how your body physically feels as you release that energy that no longer serves you up in those flames. Okay. That's one thing you can do. Write it down. All that slick up. I threw mine in a fireplace and I watched it burn. Another thing you can do is blow it away. So you can release what no longer serves you in the wind, like picking up one of those little dandelions, the ones, not the ones that's yellow, the ones when it turns white. Just blowing the stress away. Bubbles, do that. Blow you some bubbles. Instead of popping bottles, blow bubbles. These are some things that you can do to kind of blow away the things that no longer serve you with this ceremony of, it is a ritual, but I don't want to freak y'all out kind of stuff. It's a ritual. It is what it is. You can also write everything down on that paper, like we discussed before, tear it up into teeny tiny little pieces and make that sucker confetti and send it on its merry little way. Has anyone ever done something like this before? I love the bubbles. Yeah. Anybody ever done something like that before? Like written down the things that no longer serve you and banished them away? I have a couple of times. Some key things to think about are what are you struggling with? You know? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Me too. Yeah. And it's served me well. So I want to give you guys some tips and tools. Maybe you have done it, maybe you haven't done it. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh yes. Me too. I did it again last night and I'll probably do it again real soon. All right. Let's keep it moving. So far we have talked about retention, revenue, and releasing, how to release. And the next thing we're going to do is this. It's time to make a plan. We got to revise. What is your plan to decrease the chance or altogether eliminate the circumstances that you just released? What's your plan to keep it from happening again? Are you going to elevate your surroundings? Are you going to surround yourself with people who earn more than what you currently earn? Are you going to remove items from your home that are just there taking up space? Nobody's using them. Are you going to no longer give makeup lessons? Are you going to limit the time that you teach only to certain hours? Are you going to change your phone settings so that your phone only rings during certain hours of the day? What are you going to do to minimize the chances of what happened before from happening again? This is where you get to create what you crave. What are you eliminating? What are you replacing? What are you upgrading? I know for me, one thing I'm adding is I'm passing more stuff off to my assistant because I tend to hold on to it. I'm like, no, me, I got to do it. Me. And I'm letting that go. So as you're thinking through this, I want you to, as you grow, what are your goals? As you revise, I want you to examine how you currently teach. As you revise, is that working for you? Why or why not? What could be better about it? As you revise, hold on to what your motivation is. As you revise, think about 12 months from now. What would you be pleased to say, yeah, I did it about? What's going to make you say that? So that's what you think about as you revise. To recap, again, I'm going to keep it nice and short. We talked about retention. We talked about revenue. We talked about how to release. And we talked about how to revise. I told you I ain't going to keep y'all long at all. And in case you forgot, I am the chief troublemaker to Kenya Battle, and I help private music teachers attract more students and 10x their revenue without increasing their workload, even if they don't know where to begin, so that we can all do this. Rise. I want everybody to rise. When one of us elevates the industry itself is lifted up. And I specialize in helping you rise. So by the time 2022 gets here, I want you guys to do this. I want to offer you the opportunity to continue to rise a little bit more quickly. It's one thing to do it by yourself. It's easier when you have somebody with you. So I offer you the opportunity to leverage your passion for profits. People say all the time, oh, musicians can't get paid. Musicians don't be making no money. I don't even know why you majored in that in the first place. There's no future there's no financial future in music education. That's a lie. That is a lie. Those are all lies. I offer you the opportunity to create more meaningful memories as you help others make more music. I've got lots of cherished memories because of how I teach. I offer you the opportunity to gain clarity on who you serve, the price you should sell it to them for, and the systems to help you deliver the sauce. That's what I'm offering you right now. I'm offering you the opportunity to make more money doing the thing your mama told you better not even major in. And I offer you the opportunity for greater impact in our industry. I'm going to help you operate in your purpose, perfect your price point, and I'm going to give you simple procedures to make it happen. All you got to do, book a call. Book a call. How do you do that? Oh, like this and like that. Like this and like that. Let me grab this link and show you. Here's the link you need. That's the link that you need. Just book a call with me. I've opened up some times today, tomorrow, and there's like fewer times later on next week, but I got more time this week. Why? Because I gave myself 2 weeks off and I'm still getting paid. I gave myself 2 weeks off and I'm still getting paid. I gave myself, y'all don't hear me. I've been watching movies. I've been watching Netflix. I've been playing games with my kids. We done been to the movie theater. I'm going to see, I'm really enjoying the way I have set my life up through music lessons. And I'm chilling. I really am. And I want you guys to have those same kinds of benefits, like the ones that I have right now. We chilling over here. I got 4 kids in this house. Ain't nobody hungry. I don't know about the teenagers. Boys be eating. But I want you to book a call with me, okay? Again, I am Kenya Battle, the chief troublemaker, and I help private music teachers attract more students and 10x their revenue without increasing their workload, even if they don't know where to begin. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you on the next one. So here's a little teaser for next month. Here's the teaser for next month. We're going to do a social media challenge. Who's up for that? Next month is a social media challenge. I'm trying to help you guys up your game so that you can direct students right to you. So who wants in on that? Let me know. Bye. Oh, yeah, thank you for coming.